Welcome to Ancestors 101. This is the question I get asked the most is how do we worship ancestors? How do we venerate our ancestors? And who are our ancestors? And because I'm a word witch, we're going to study the way I study almost all things in witchcraft by first understanding the language of the word before understanding its energy and its use. The word ancestor, its root, is in Latin, and the Latin original word was antecedera, and ante meaning before, and cedera meaning to go. So to go before. Anta, if you think like an anteroom, right? The room before the room, kind of like a foyer, or an antechamber, which is the room in between rooms before a chamber. Anta, before. Cedera, go. Then the word for ancestor becomes antecessor, and then the French get it and it becomes ancestre. And that's how we get the Middle English word of ancestor. At the very root, it is things that go before other things or people. Now, the standard definition of an ancestor is somebody that came before you in your bloodline. So, grandparent, great grandparent, and beyond. This is your familial ancestral line. However, for witches, that net is much, much wider. So, you can have your blood ancestors and you can venerate your blood ancestors, but you can also have your land ancestors, which are the ancestors of a place. They might be connected to the land you live on or the geography or the culture that you live in. All they are is the spirits and the energies that came before you. And we've got the ancestors of the craft, so the witches that came before us. You can also have ancestral connections to versions of you that may have existed before, energies of you that have moved through space and time. Those are ancestors of the self. Then another very valid and relevant type of ancestor are the ones that we choose. So, for example, I'm Nevermore Aries. Obviously, if you know anything about me, you know I love Edgar Allan Poe. I could venerate him as an ancestor because he is an ancestor of words that came before me. So, in essence, to a witch, an ancestor is any person or being or spirit whose life or death or story or craft has influenced you, shaped you, and contributes to your magic in some way. Blood ancestry is just one thread, but magic itself braids them all together. Essentially, an ancestor is anyone whose existence made your existence more possible. It could be your great grandmother. It could be some 17th century cunning woman. It could be a poet who's long gone, but whose words still affect you. If your blood relatives, if you don't connect with them, or you don't know who they are, I can show you how to do that in another video, finding your actual blood ancestors. But you don't have to venerate your familial line. You can choose who you want to venerate and whose energy you want to call on and who you want to honor as an ancestor. Ancient cultures all across the world, they would venerate, the dead, the people who came before them. You didn't have to be related to them. In Dehio Hogan's book on Celtic cultures, it talks about the kings, and when they would pass away, the kings and even the prominent people in the community would be venerated by the whole community, not necessarily blood relatives. And that defined them as ancestors because they were Antecedera, which is before and go. They went before. I love words so much. I love them. I love words. And when you understand the word, it helps you understand the thing better. Anyways, I digress. So first, pick what type of ancestor you want to venerate or work with. Is it a witch that has lived and died and influenced you? Is it a writer? Is it a poet? Is it a family member? Is it unnamed maybe land spirits that worked the land, lived on the land, blessed the land before you did? Figure out that first. Don't pick everybody, just pick one or two. And ancestor veneration is so simple, it really is. It's a place on your altar or a dedicated altar, and you can have a specific candle for that ancestor, or leave offerings like tea or something that would have probably been relatable to that person at the time. For example, if I was venerating Edgar Allan Poe, I could get a very nice quill and ink pot and light a candle for him. He drank sometimes, so maybe some whiskey or bourbon. Seawater would also be another good one for him. For my grandmothers, I leave them cups of tea or sometimes cigarettes because they definitely did smoke. First, that's understanding what ancestors are. I'll go into more detail on finding out who they are or naming them in the next video.